I explained what the Commission's worries are. I explained the recommendations we've sent to the Polish authorities. As I also said very clearly, we will study very carefully the amended proposals made by President Duda, which were announced this morning, and which will now go into the parliamentary consideration in Poland. We will make our comments on that also once we have analysed it. But apart from those two drafts, there are other worries we have that I made explicit again today. I was encouraged by the fact that the Polish government said they would want a dialogue with the European Commission. That to me is good news. So I hope to be able to receive Minister Ziobro, Minister Waszczykowski here, or I'm prepared to go and see them in Warsaw so that we can have this dialogue, which I think would be welcomed by all member states around the table. And which is most important to me is that everybody around the table said the rule of law, it's not an option, it's an obligation. The rule of law, it's not an afterthought. It is the fundament of European cooperation. The rule of law is not something just between the Commission and a member state. It concerns us all. Every EU institution, every member state, and everyone involved, also private partners, because if the rule of law doesn't function well, then also the internal market can't function well, and this affects everyone. So I was encouraged by this discussion. I was encouraged by the broad support I felt in the Council for trying to find a solution. I was also encouraged by the opening the Polish government gave for renewed dialogue. But there's still a lot we need to do before we can say that the problem has been solved. I would also, let me end on this, emphasize that it would be extremely helpful if these two draft laws that have now been presented would also be given to the Venice Commission for advice. And I think the Venice Commission has been a valuable instrument, which is not political at all, in the European area, to help member states, also the Council of Europe, to ascertain legal matters also pertaining to the rule of law. So I think